My girlfriend invited her ex-boyfriend to my apartment to chill while I was away. Now she's hysterically apologizing and desperate for my forgiveness. I live in a big city in my own apartment. My girlfriend, Lily, lives with her roommates, but if I'm being honest, she basically lives over here 80% of the time. Early today/yesterday while I was at the gym with my friend, Mike, she texted me that she had an old friend she hasn't seen in a while that's in town and that it would be nice to have a quiet place to catch up. I said they could use my apartment and that I'd go out for dinner with Mike so they'd have time to catch up. During this time I'm at the gym, so I was in rush. I didn't ask who she was inviting over at. Well, apparently I should, as the old friend she was apparently catching up with alone in my apartment was her only ex-boyfriend Kyle. Around 30ish minutes after this conversation I get a text from her saying they're at the apartment. I just said bed and continued with my friend. Mike and I finished our workout around 7 p.m. and decided we'd go to Whole Foods as their hot/salad bars got some great food. We ate there and finished around 8:30ish. I'm on my way home now, and honestly I wasn't expecting anything other than just saying hi and heading my ass to bed. Poop had been a long ass day and honestly, I was just ready to get to sleep. I arrive home around 9 p.m. and at this point, I had no idea if her friend was still over or not. When I walked in the apartment I see some big-ass Timberland boots that obviously are a man's. I'm immediately like, F, her friend brought her boyfriend, I'm going to have to stay up and socialize now. I take off my shoes and jacket and start heading down the mini hallway. As I enter the living area I see my girlfriend sitting on the couch with a man at separate ends but staring right at each other talking. My girlfriend notices me and jumps a little. At this point I'm still completely oblivious. I say hello and start walking towards the man. I'm looking around the house at this point for her friend. Honestly I just thought she was in the bathroom or some poop. I shake the guy's hand and say some poop like, hey, I'm Lily's boyfriend. He replied back in like a cocky ass way with some, I'm Kyle, Lily's ex. I was like, oh my fault, I thought you were friend's boyfriend. Then it got a little quiet and I rapidly come to the realization that my girlfriend has been alone with her ex in my apartment for the last couple hours. I look at my girl and say, so I'm taking this was your old friend? She said yeah in a soft ass voice. At this point I wasn't letting myself jump to any conclusions, but I'm tired and I don't feel like socializing. I'm also now upset my girl was just chilling with her ex in my apartment. It got quiet again and these two made zero effort to continue whatever convo they were having just moments ago. Lily asks how my day was and I was like, it was fine, I guess, again getting the vibe I'm interrupting something. At this point I'm fed up and I look at him and asked Kyle, hey, do you mind ending it here for today? I actually got some things I got to talk to Lily about. He said she invited me over though and we're still reminiscing on the good old days. I look at Lily, she can't even look me in my eyes. I looked back at Kyle and said, alright, let me rephrase it, this is my apartment and I'm telling you to leave. He then looks at her and says, do you want me to leave? At this point, and I'm not proud of it, I completely lose my poop, saying, what the F do you mean by that? I don't give a poop if she wants you to leave or not. I'm telling you to get the F out my house. Lily is telling me to calm down and turns and tells him he needs to leave. Kyle gets up and heads towards the hallway to get his poop. I follow and he ends up leaving. I come back and Lily is now pissed at me saying I embarrassed her. I embarrassed you? She then goes on about how my reaction is totally uncalled for as she told me he was coming over and asked. I was like, no Lily, you said a effing friend was coming over. Not once you mentioned this friend was a male, much less your effing ex. She then says my reaction was bullshit and that I acted like an ass. I tell her you were with your effing ex in my apartment. Do you not understand how much of a F you that comes across as? I then asked why the F y'all were meeting in the first place, and she tells me he was going through rough times and needed someone to lean on, and that she just wanted to be there for him as he's a nice person and that by hanging with him in my apartment it shows nothing shady is going on. I explain how that is bullshit and that if my ex started having issues and I was the one comforting her she would be pissed. She was like, no, she'd understand because she has empathy. I was like, that's bullshit Lily, you got pissed at me at the gym cause I smiled when a girl complimented my form when lifting. She then was like she was done talking and stormed out. I didn't say anything. I didn't chase. I haven't reached out. I just sat on the couch and thought about what the F just happened. I then called my father who gave me some great advice. She then texted me these 2 hours ago. Can we talk? I'm sorry for not telling you it was my ex that I was inviting over. I don't want you to get the wrong idea, nothing happened. Nothing is going to happen. I love you. He messaged me out of the blue he needed someone to talk to. I didn't think that much of it, I'm sorry for deceiving you. I wanted to talk to him at your place because I didn't want you to assume something else was going on, please talk to me, I love you. Update. I knew if there was one person who could get through to me it would be my pops. The whole time my pops is dead silent and doesn't say a effing a word. I finished up the story. All he asked was what does Kyle look like? I said, his ass was like 5 feet 9 inches max. My dad laughs a bit and says explains the Timberlands then, effing male equivalent of heels. He then was like how much you think he weighed? I had to think for a minute but I was like maybe a $155-ish. My pops then brought up the argument between Kyle and me. You said Lily told Kyle to leave after you started to get mad, right? Yeah, I responded. My dad pauses for a long time again and takes another deep breath. I wouldn't be surprised if this situation is a lot deeper than it seems. It speaks volumes to me she only rallied for him to leave after you began to get real upset. You are 6 feet 0 inches 190 pounds and were just disrespected in your own house by a man you do not know. When a woman cares for someone the last thing she wants is for him to be in harm's way. She understood exactly what was going to happen if the situation continued to escalate, and she chose to get Kyle out of harm's way, followed by switching all the blame to you and leaving. Honestly son, where do you think she's at right now? I didn't say anything. I knew what he was implying. I know it hurts, but promise me you won't do anything irrational. She made her decision, there's not much you can do to change it. You've proven your whole life you're one of one, don't lose yourself now over something that will just end up a tiny bump on your roadmap. I mean seriously, I couldn't be more effing proud of you son. You're 22 living on your own. You got your poop together, that's rare. You're rare. The right woman like your mom for me will walk into your life when you least expect it. Don't waste your energy. Everything happens for a reason, son. Fast forward back to this morning. I couldn't sleep for poop last night, so this morning was just completely ass. Lily was blowing up my phone the whole night, apologizing and begging for my forgiveness. Around 1 o'clock I got a phone call, and you guessed it was from Lily. No part of me wanted to pick up the phone, but we've been dating for 2.5 years. I felt obligated. What's up? I say, to be immediately met with crying, I'm sorry. I love you to death. Please just talk to me. I shouldn't have left last night. I panicked. You know I love you. I didn't say anything. Please talk to me. This isn't right. Please just talk to your girlfriend. I'm sorry. I told you nothing happened. I won't ever talk to him again. Please, I beg, can we just talk? At this point, the realization of my feelings for her started to really kick in. Instead of anger, sorrow, or any emotion tbh, I just felt a sense of indifference when she spoke. I responded, can you come over around 3? Still crying at this point. Yes, she said. I hear from the hallway. Shortly after, I see my girlfriend emerge from the mini hallway. She begins to start smiling and crying while wiping her tears. Again, I take notice of how I feel at this moment. A sense of indifference. A feeling I don't care about anymore. It really started to hit me. 2.5 years wasted just like that. The woman who I cared so deeply for just 24 hours before now is in front of me crying, and I don't feel a thing. Lily, it's over between us, I said. Completely shocked, she barely manages to mutter out, what? While still crying. It's over, I repeated. No, please, I'm sorry. Don't end this between us. I love you to death, she said hysterically. Now I won't lie, that last bit hit hard. I mean effing hard, man. I couldn't mask it anymore. The lid had been broken. Don't end this between us? I say, Lily, I'm sorry, I can't take this poop anymore. I don't know what impression I gave you over our relationship, but I won't stay in a relationship with a woman who thinks that effing little of me. You made the decision to end poop between us when invited your ex into my apartment behind my effing back, Lily. That is something I refuse to let slide. At this point my thoughts just begin to flow out of my mouth like a effing tidal wave. No man is that cocky for no reason, Lily. I'm not a effing fool, Lily. You gave him some type of reassurance to give him the confidence to act like that. Poop, you even backed him in front of me. Why the F would I stay with someone who's not going to have my back? Absolutely bawling at this point, Lily says, I'm sorry. I love you, I'm sorry. I really did love her. Poop, I still effing do. But I understood this was what's best for me. I wouldn't have been able to trust her again. You can't be in a relationship without trust or loyalty. I lost both from her. As she cries, I look up and say, Lily, please. It's over. There's no saving this. Please just do us both a favor and take your things and leave, Lily. It's over, please, let's just end it here. She doesn't say anything and gets up and starts grabbing some of her things around their apartment. I grabbed a garbage bag and helped her pack. She left the keys to my apartment on the table and left. This all finished up around 4:30 today. I've just been sitting here trying to process what the F just happened. Honestly, it all still doesn't feel real.